All right, I guess I should talk about this. Um, what you see here, who you see here, rather, is Woody Harrelson, the actor, and he's, somebody who I've heard rumors about, um, and he's he definitely doesn't fit the Hollywood mold of what you would expect a movie star to be. I guess he has a certain charisma of his own, sort of in his own way, but he's definitely not, just another pretty face or any kind of pretty face. He sort of gives off this vibe of being this sort of hostile, this sort of hostile but amusing redneck type of guy. But yet he's been in numerous roles, including some leading man type roles. And I think he can be a good actor. He can be an effective actor. He played Larry Flint, as I recall. So, he's good in these kind of scumbag roles, lovable scumbag kind of characters. But I've heard it said that his father was one of the JFK assassins, and that he was given this cushy job in Hollywood, basically as a sort of a keep your mouth shut and we'll reward you. This is just what I've heard. I don't. It might be even a little irresponsible for me to share it now, and I kind of feel a little iffy about even sharing, even passing that around. Just let it be known that it is just a rumor. It isn't. I mean, his father was a I think a felon who was arrested for various things, and but the rumor is, of course, what I just said, and it kind of, when I heard that rumor, it kind of clicked in my mind a little bit, just because how else do you explain this guy, having such a such a storied career in Hollywood? When if anything, you would think of him, be, somebody like who looks like him and talks like him, and so forth. You would think of him, being like a character actor, like the weird, unsettling, kind of funny, kind of off-putting guy who shows up uh, at a strange time, kind of like the character he played in Wag the Dog. But the truth is that he's often, as I said, often played much larger roles than that, and he is an actual name. I think he's maybe, you could maybe say he's A list or A minus list in Hollywood. But the reason why I'm talking about him is just the reason why I'm giving all of this context for him and who he is and what you know what explains his success. He apparently said something during an SNL monologue that caught a lot of people's attention. Now, what he said in his monologue is not at all, to me, like what Dave Chappelle said a couple of months ago. It's not as compelling as that. It's not as funny as that. It's and generally speaking, most of this uh, 7 minute or so monologue was pretty mediocre, I would have to say, uh, of Woody Harrelson. That's just because he's not really a comedian. He's not that's not his thing. He is somebody who has his own opinions about things, and he's definitely a kind of an ornery libertarian type of guy. He likes to smoke, and you know what I mean. But when I say smoke, not just cigarettes. And he's not very well disposed to the to big pharma. and that's been established before. He's said other things before about how he distrusts big pharma, which automatically makes him suspicious in the eyes of the establishment today, especially today's establishment, even the so-called liberals within today's establishment, the type of people who used to be uh, down on big pharma. Now they're knee-jerk, reflexively defensive of big pharma and of billionaires and of uh, warmongers and war profiteers and all the other things that it was that people on the liberal left were supposed to be against. These days they're all for. These are strange days indeed. So I'm going to play you the controversial part of what Woody said on SNL, and it's only like a minute or so of his 7-minute monologue. But I just thought I'd fast forward to that part.
And start reading. Okay, so the movie goes like this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes, and people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is going to believe that crazy idea? Being forced to do drugs?
He goes on to say, I do that voluntarily all day and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, that's an unflattering.
I do that.
There, that's a little bit less unflattering freeze frame. So it's been theorized that Woody went off script, just like it was theorized, just like a lot of people said that they thought Chappelle went off script when he was talking about Kanye and Kyrie. And I recorded a video on that a few weeks ago when he was on SNL. SNL is basically only worth paying attention to when something like this happens. From what I can tell, it's just garbage now. It's a show that should have been off the air about a decade ago, but for some reason keeps lumbering along, just like The Simpsons. And Family Guy and South Park and others. So this was interesting. Anyway, I gotta hand it to Woody for sneaking that in. The context was he's talking about how he was supposedly given a script by his agent back in 2019, which was the last time he'd hosted SNL. And he read the script, and the script, the premise of the script was it was going to be a movie set in a world in which all the drug cartels buy up all the media and politicians and force people to stay inside their homes until they take the cartel's drugs. And he's so you say, who would ever believe a story like that? So there's a subtlety to it, but it's obviously also not all that subtle. You can pretty much understand what he's saying there, the point that he's making, the overall thrust of his message that he is conveying, and it's interesting. It's interesting that we're seeing little things like this come out in little drims and drabs. I showed y'all the Newsweek article about a week ago saying, yeah, we were wrong about everything, and we need to admit it, and we should have known better. And there have been other, articles in respectable journals and, saying masks didn't work and, this didn't work, that didn't work. And so all this is coming out, and it's great, but I would say, like, also, if I were to be a curmudgeon about this, I would say, where were they 2 years ago, right? Why couldn't we have been hearing this? We needed to hear these messages 2 years ago when we were in the midst of this shit, and now it almost seems like it's it's like I'm saying this now because it's safe to say it. Although, having said that, Woody has had some some blowback from the usual suspects, from the mainstream media types who have written this up and just scathingly lambasted him for being an anti-vaxxer and for spreading misinformation and conspiracy theories and blah blah blah, the usual stuff. They're still churning out all of that bile and blather, but it seems to have they seem to have lost a lot of their fuel, and they're kind of running on vapors now. So anyway, I just thought I would highlight this for y'all, and a lot of others have done so, but I just wanted to share my thoughts, and I'm very interested in what y'all have to say. And I'm not when I say Woody should have said this 2 years ago. Maybe he would have said it. Maybe if they'd had him on. Of course, back then it was like Saturday Night Live, but we're all, everybody's in their homes and something really gay like that. I think that was the show a couple of years ago. Don't, or we're all staying 6 feet apart from each other while we perform our sketches or whatever. But maybe he would have been willing. I mean, he seems like a guy who feels pretty safe being outspoken or. So I mean, it seems to be his personality is to speak out about these things. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours below. Thanks for watching.